When you go to a stadium to watch your favourite team, it's about family, community and the connection we share. This is what Stadium Real Estate is about too. Hi, I'm Rachel Laurie and we believe every client deserves a front row seat on their real estate journey. At Stadium Real Estate, our people are the main event and we're 100% committed to helping you get a winning result. Family, community, connection. That's Stadium Real Estate. So get in touch with us today, stadiumrealestate.com.
Yes, welcome to another edition of Straight back for season 2024, live from the Adelaide Turf Studios. So we're doing things a bit differently this year. You don't get to see our faces, which I believe most listeners will be happy about. But I'd like to welcome my partners in crime. We've got Shane McMillan, who's our producer. How are you going, Shane?
Good, Raj. How are you going? Good, thank you.
Good. And David Hazer, the Executive Officer. How are you, David?
I'm good, mate. Very nervous with Shane doing his first podcast.
Just hope I've hit record properly, so that's the main thing.
Correct. You have done record?
So far, so good.
Okay, good.
And we've got our first guest who's going to be part of the panel tonight, Luke Harrington from Spock. How are you going, Luke?
Good, guys. Thanks for having me.
No, thanks for coming in. And the Straight Bat again brought to you by some very, very important sponsors, Stadium Real Estate, Platinum Print Group and the Arcabar Hotel. So thank you very much to all our sponsors of Straight Bat again this year. We always like to start off with apologies. Now, we got one because one of our panellists from last year is not here, David. What can you tell us? Has he retired? Has he spat the dummy? What's happened?
Yeah, I think he's sort of retired, spat the dummy.
Right.
First he said he's not going to do it anymore. And then he said he's retired. We may get him on for one or two shows.
Okay.
He was pretty popular. I think he took a bit of flack on the field with some of the comments he made.
He didn't pull any punches.
No, correct. So hopefully we'll get Boz back for a couple of episodes.
I heard if his face wasn't going to be on camera, he'd want to be in here. So that's another part of it.
I won't be saying that, but yeah.
Very good. And we'll move into our first segment now, the Executive Officer's Corner. So you got a few bylaw updates for us, new bylaws that have happened in the off-season. So what can you tell us?
Yeah, guys. So we've spoken to all the captains and delegates at various meetings. We've set the bylaw book up differently, fairly easy to read. So it's nowhere near as big as it used to be. They're all on the website. Some of the main changes in the bylaw books is the weekly responsibilities for all clubs to get their stats in and their match results in. They're 24 hours earlier now, so you have to have your match results in by Sunday midnight and your player stats in by Monday midnight. That's all on the front of the books.
Yep.
We've made some changes to the dress regulations. We now can have surname or numbers.
Mm-hmm.
We've said surnames, but as you know, there's some names that are very, very long.
Yep.
So, and that, if it's a long name, maybe you can shorten it, whatever, but not surnames and numbers,
right.
One or the other.
Okay.
And everyone's got to be kitted out in the same.
Yep.
You can't have one Raj with your surname
Mm-hmm.
and me with a number.
Okay.
One of the other major changes is increase in penalties to a slow over rate.
Yep.
We've gone from 0.2 to now it's half a point. So, and that is taken at 6 o'clock.
Yep.
So if you're 10 overs short at 6 o'clock and you bowl a team out at 6:01, you're still 10 overs short at 6 o'clock. So you mean that's 5 points deduction.
Okay.
Is that right? 5 points deduction.
Yep.
So everyone needs to be aware of that. That happens in the umpire grades, A1 to A3, and under 17s as well. That's very important for clubs to remember. It's half a point and it's done at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
The other one is a major change is when we have, we can always make up 60 minutes if we have lost time.
Yep.
And we had a completion time of 7 o'clock. You can't go past 7 o'clock. We've had clubs that sort of try and shortcut that rule, and when 7 o'clock comes, they walk off the field, not bowling all their overs. So we've now taken off that 7 o'clock cut-off time.
Yep.
You can still only make up 60 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
but if and you haven't bowled the overs, you can go to 7 if you wish, or 7:30, as long as the weather and the light conditions are all good.
Okay.
So it's it happened at least twice last year, where club walked off and umpire said it's 7:00, and that exactly what the bylaws said.
Right.
Just now taking that up. One of the other ones, the junior grade guys, this is breaking news. We're going to make this change the next couple of days. Well, the way you play HQ is set up in the 2-day, where we got a 1-day game. In our juniors, we allow you to play a second innings.
Yeah.
But you can't record a second innings under Play HQ settings. And Play HQ don't intend to make any changes in recent year in time to come.
Yeah.
It's not on their radar. So we'll be saying there'll be no second innings as of the next 1-day game, which is 2 weeks' time.
Yep.
That notification will be going out to clubs.
Okay.
One of the other changes is regarding to no balls, free hit no balls in T20 competition. It used to be only front foot no balls. Saka has had any no ball is a free hit, and we have a lot of Saka umpires that umpire in the T20s. I mean, there's 78 teams. To get 78 umpires, we don't have that many umpires, so we get the help of Saka there. So now we have said all no balls are a free hit, not just a front foot no ball.
So including waist high, etc.
Correct.
Yep. Okay, fair enough. So we've got a current captain sitting in the studio here. You across all those bylaws, Luke. Any comments on any of them? Are they good changes or?
Look, most of them seem pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
I think the over rates are just an important one to keep a mind on as the game goes on. Umpires are pretty good at communicating what's going on. So as long as you're having a good conversation with your team and the umpires, most of these things are pretty standard in the umpired grades.
Yep. Fantastic. So that's pretty much it for the bylaws, David?
That's the majority of them, yep.
And what about player movements? Any big player movements that we know of in A1 and A2?
Yeah, there's been a few. Grange have picked up a couple of really good players. Patrick Wickett, he played played for West Orange League football and was under 17 Australian side from memory.
Fairly pacey, I believe.
Pacey and can bat. And Ozzy Uppenstein, another very good junior from Port Adelaide, he's made hundreds in Premier Cricket. That's the 2 pickups from Grange. Hasn't helped their batting. Bowled up for 60 the other day.
Yep.
Jasper Davidson from Goodwood. This kid can, not a kid, he can bat and bowl. Quick bowler, and he's made 100 just recently. He is from Scotland. He actually played T20 a game against Australia in the World Cup.
Series. Yep.
In the recent series, Cameron Laird, a renowned name at Paraka, has moved clubs across the road to Para Hills. Mitchell Thomas is a good get for Paraka. East Torrens, I think it's an East Torrens lad. Yes. Sorry if it's not East Torrens Mitch. He's already got 100 in the last game and got some wickets. And the big change is also change in captaincy at Para Hills. Travis Wadsworth has done it for something like 17 years, and now Mitchell Quinn is the captain coach. So
Travis not thrilled about the change. Is our male?
Yeah, I think he's accepted on it.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. So that's the main movements in A1. Anything in A2, Luke, of note that you've come across or not at this stage?
To be honest, I haven't seen a lot of player movements. I mean, it's interesting with the 2 teams coming down, Flinders Park and Marion. Yeah, they'll be fairly strong, and then you get the teams coming up. Payneham came up along with Brahma. So
okay.
There's always a lot of movement through A2. So we're starting to see a few of the guys coming through, but there's some good players around. A couple of guys have made good starts to the season.
Excellent. All right, so that's our first EO corner over and out. We'll come back and run through some of the results very shortly. And welcome back to the Straight Bat. We're just going to run through the results at the halfway point of round 3, kicking off with the A1 Brighton, surprisingly, after their strong batting form, sitting on top of the ladder, rolled for 116. Rajdeep Singh, 33. Brad Shaper took 6 for 33. And Trinity relatively well placed there at 3 for 55 to cause an upset, David.
Yeah, I think so. Hartigan, Hack and Walmsley Pace and McInerney have just got a lot of runs for Brighton. I think in total they've probably made 35, 40 runs.
We will be doing our tips later, so I like doing the tips halfway through a game. It gives me much more chance, given where I finished on the ladder last year. So, Trinity well placed there. Yeah,
the next game was Hope Valley versus Old Scotch guys. That game was only went for 6.3 overs, and then the umpire deemed the wicket not safe. Under investigation at the moment. It looks like we'll probably go to a one-day game, but that's not confirmed just yet by the CEP.
Yep, Ingle Farm versus Grange. Yep.
Yeah, Ingle Farm 201 versus Grange. Ricky Sandu 80 runs. Michael McDonald 3 for 54 off 23 overs. Sayers and Weckett a couple of wickets each. So look, Ingle Farm be pleased with that against Grange's attack. They're fairly solid there, particularly with Chad around the place. He's quite a handy bowler from what I've seen.
Yeah, evenly poised. Paraka racked up a big score at Para Hills, 9 for 324. Mitch Thomas, as you mentioned, David, 105, very good recruit. And Jai Bailey, ever consistent with 68. Grant Carey, 4 for 97, but Para Hills got a big chase ahead of him.
Yeah, and Jai Bailey retired last year. He's obviously come back.
Yeah, okay.
So that's a big score. I'm sure even at the game at Para Hills, I can't see them getting those runs. Port District's playing PAC. PAC has been scoring a few runs the first couple of games. 260. The Marshall brothers, Angus with 89 and Charlie with 66. And then Port District's are 4 for 30. They haven't been making too many runs, Port Districts, and I reckon PAC will be really pushing for an outright victory there.
Marshall Brothers looking for another invite into straight bat after last year, Shane, after that performance, so keep that in mind.
I'll keep an eye on that one.
Yep.
Woodville South, 115 all out. Andrew Lee, the evergreen spin bowler, 3 for 10. Chris Shaw, 3 for 16 as well. But Goodwood have made a really good start, none for 53, so you would expect they'll roll through that. Interesting to see how long they bat on there. They quite like a good bat, so I reckon they might bat for their full 80, and could be a long day for Woody South.
Could be. Moving to the Sports Centre A2 grade, Adelaide Lions 130 with Prema Chandra 31, always in the runs. Kumarasari 4 for 17, but Unley in all sorts of trouble at 9 for 35. Harry Chalor 5 for 27. Left arm pies is the note I've got here, but I'm not too sure about that. And but Unley in all sorts of trouble there. So please explain.
Paynham 272 versus Jeps Cross. Joel Fernando 76 and Conan Mirza 38. Thomas Lobb 3 for 36. Really good score from Paynham there. You'd expect them to do to get that job done against Jeps Cross.
Yep.
Golden Grove playing Flinders Park. Golden Grove made about 130 odd. The scores are not in Play HQ. Brad Anson made 35 and Flinders Park are 4 for 20 overnight. Okay. For Flinders Park, John Trainer got 5 wickets.
Yep. Brahma Lodge 209 versus Marion. Ben Pye 59, Subberton 44, Daniel Stewart 6 for 46. So that's quite an evenly poised game. Marion looking to chase those down on day 2.
Okay, Spock versus Walkerville. Spock 120, struggling with the bat this year, and Walkerville none for 52. Good all-round effort by the Walkerville bowlers. 4 bowlers got 2 wickets each. Charlie Birch was the best, I think, is new to the club, from memory, Luke. 51, and evergreen Luke Harrington run out for 1 at the age of 44. What are you trying to do there, mate?
No, sadly, young Charlie Birch torched me at the other end. So, look, he's lucky he made 50 on the day because got him out of jail.
Okay, fair enough.
Last game, Woody Rechabites all out for 62. And Renilla 7 for 82. So there's a really good chance for an outright result here. Southpath 4 for 17 and 39, a good result. Jackson took 3 for 28 in that game.
Hapless Rechabites, David, continuing their form from last year.
Yeah, we are in a bit of trouble, Raj. We've lost quite a few A-graders, something like 7 or 8 A-graders from last year. So we could be in a bit of trouble this year.
We shall see. We'll come back and have a look at the women's first couple of rounds very shortly.
Take your live sport entertainment to the next level at Sporties in the Aqaba Hotel.
Well, we're back and we're better than ever, just in time for the footy with a brand new facelift, including new large LED screens, new outdoor area with booth seating, customised audio zones, brand new shuffleboard, brand new digital darts, all-day dining and so much more. Same love for live sport. Sporties is Adelaide's home of live sport.
Take your live sport entertainment to the next level at Sporties in the Aqaba Hotel.
Yes, now looking at the women's first grade, Port Adelaide 3 for 54, Too Strong for Glenelg 52, Katie Northcote with a good double 28 and 3 for 4, Ranella 5 for 132, Brooke Mullen 52, defeated Kensington 85, Isha Salah 20, Kate Larchos 32 and 2 for 8, Para Hill 6 for 97, Serena Slade 37, defeated by Paynham 3 for 137, Mel Fanning 76, no absentee there, Tamara Clapton. So the Princess of Para Hills, I believe, is playing a bit of district cricket this year. So Travis got his crown back there as the Prince. West Torrens 3 for 90, Dana Court 28 not out, Shelby Gristidi 34, Too Strong for Sturt 5 for 87. So that was the first grade.
Second grade, Eastern Falcons 8 for 78, tied with Hope Valley 5 for 78. 5 for 78. Isabella Phillips, 31 not out, was the best for the Hope Valley. Woodville South, 4 for 75, defeated Marion. For Marion, Alison Boston made 31 not out, and Tina Lister is really good form for the first 3 or 4 games, guys. Probably leader in the Player of the Year. She's got 30. Not out, and Carly Holbrook with 26. And the last game was Ranella. Very good game. Went down to the last ball. Ranella 4 for 117, defeated Port Adelaide 7 for 116. Lindley Ingerson for Ranella 25 and 3 for 6. And veteran Dennis Gabb at 40, not out. For Port Adelaide, it was Eva Treese with 22. Catherine Johnson, 26, and Cadence Holmes with 3 for 17.
So I'm going to take a guess and say that's Richard's wife or daughter?
Yes, it is.
His wife, yep. Richard was featured on the Straight Bat last year, so...
Yep.
And thanks to the Aqaba this year, one of the awards that we're giving away, people voting on Facebook, is the Women's Performance of the Fortnight. Mm-hmm. So the first one was given out a few weeks ago, and that was, she's already been mentioned just before, Serena Slade versus for Para Hills in a win against Sturt. She made 64 not out, and she got 3 for 11. So she was voted the winner for the first one for the women. So thanks to the Aqaba for that one.
Excellent. Now we're going to run through our tips. Controversial segment last year because David was the only one who saw the tipping sheets and the results, and not surprisingly he won. So Shane, you're going to have a second set of eyes on that this year.
I think that's the sole reason I was employed by Adelaide to have to keep an eye on that one.
Keep an eye on the tips, and happy to say that we're all 2 for 2 after the first 2 rounds. We've all got full marks. So. And we're tipping halfway through round 3, so we've got a bit of a head start here as well. But I'll start with you, Shane. Brighton versus Trinity. Halfway through that game, what are your thoughts?
I'll go Trinity for that one.
Yep.
Yeah,
David?
Trinity for me as well.
Yeah, Trinity as well.
Yeah, I agree. They should run that down. Woodville South versus Goodwood.
Goodwood.
Yep.
Yeah, Goodwood should chase that small target.
Yeah, Goodwood for me.
Yep, agreed. Para Hills chasing big target against Paraka.
Yeah, I'll go with Paraka.
Yep, Paraka.
Yep, same again.
Okay, now Hope Valley versus Old Scotch, probably playing a one-day game.
Who are you going for?
Oh, sorry, yeah, Paraka will have got enough on the board there, I think. So,
it's much easier going first, second week.
Yeah, Travis will back himself to chase those down, but I'm going to go with Paraka. Now, Hope Valley versus Old Scotch, probably a one-day game here. So how do you see that one, Shane?
I'll go with Old Scotch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Old Scotch as well.
Yeah, good start to the season for them, so Old Scotch for me.
Yep, agreed. PAC in a good position against Port District, Shane?
Yep, I'll go with PAC.
Yeah.
I think PAC to win that game outright.
Okay.
No bonus points for that.
Prince Alfred for me as well, yeah.
Yeah, agreed. And probably the most game that looks evenly poised, Ingle Farm defending 201 against Grange, Shane?
I'll go for Grange to make some runs.
Okay.
Grange.
Yep, Grange at Ingle Farm. That's a tough ask, but I think she'll go for Grange.
Yeah, I'm going to say Grange will chase that down.
Okay, I'm going to go for the point of difference in one of our tips and say Ingle Farm can defend that at home. Swinging into A2, and we got your boys, David, in all sorts of trouble against Ranella. Be lucky to avoid an outright, so I'm going to say Ranella.
Yes, I have to be Ranella, guys.
Yeah, we'll go Ranella.
Yeah, I think Ranella is, well, they've already won, so
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see what they come up with on day 2.
Exactly. Brahma Lodge defending 209 at Marion. Shane, interestingly poised.
Go with Marion, making a few runs at Marion.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Brahma Lodge for me.
No, Marion, good start to the season, some blokes in good form.
Okay, I'm going Brahma Lodge, so we're split down the middle there. Unley and all sorts against Adelaide Lions.
Yep.
Can't see the miracle
I
here.
think I'll go the Lions, that one.
Lions, yep.
Yeah, Lions for me.
Lions as well, yes.
Yep. Now, Spock going to have to bowl and feel really well to get out of this one against Walkerville. Can you see it, Shane?
No, sorry, mate. I think Walkerville for this one.
David?
Yeah, sorry, Luke. Walkerville.
No, I'm going to go for Spock, but I've written Walkerville just in case to get the tip, so I'm going to hedge a bet each way.
Okay, fair enough. Walkerville for me as well. Golden Grove versus Flinders Park. So Flinders are actually four for there already. Shane?
A tough one to pick halfway through this one, but I'll go Flinders.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, 4 for 30, chasing 130 odd, but I'll go Golden Grove.
Yep.
Yeah, Golden Grove, I think.
Yeah, I agree there. And Payneham defending 272 at Jeps Cross. Shane, can make a lot of runs out there. It's a batter-friendly ground.
Decent batting lineup this game.
Yeah.
I won't get served if I don't pick him, so Jeps Cross.
Okay.
I actually got Jeps Cross circled, but I'm going to change my mind and go for Payneham.
Okay.
Shane's been bragging about how good Paynham's Jeps Cross batting lineup is, so I'm going to go Payneham.
Yeah, I think Payneham will get that one.
Yeah, I agree. Payneham. So that's our tips for round 3, and we'll update the tally next week, David and Shane, should I say.
Yes.
And now we'll come back and have a chat with our special guest, Luke Harrington, after this break. Welcome back to Straight Bat. We're having a chat with our special guest / panellist tonight, Luke Harrington. Hope you're enjoying yourself in here, Luke.
Yeah, it's been good so
with
far,
us.
guys. Yeah, I
Excellent.
appreciate it.
We're going to talk a bit about you now. So I'm just starting at the beginning. How did you actually get into the sport of cricket to start with?
Always played cricket as a kid,
Yeah.
through high school, through primary school and then into high school as well. Played my junior cricket out of Prospect, actually.
Yeah,
I was in the zone, Ray Sutton Shield, these sorts of things. So always loved cricket around the backyard, always playing with friends and family. So,
Yep.
Mentioned you a bit of time at Prospect there. Did you have some time at East Torrens as well?
yeah, once I finished it, had a bit of a break in between and then under 17s at East Torrens and then right through all the grades, senior grades, right up to A-grade cricket. Some really fantastic mates. A great place to play cricket. I used to love the old Campbelltown Oval, the way it used to be. The facilities there now are really, really good, but the old school style of the ground and the uniqueness of it made it a really good place to play.
Can you tell me some of the better players you played against at Saka, mate? And against?
When I walked into East Torrens, there were some fantastic guys around. I mean, you learn from Alan Favell, Andrew Carver, Jeff Parker were there, some really, really good blokes who'd played Shield level. And then you run into guys who were just, sort of outstanding. I reckon my first game of District A grade was against Greg Blewett. He made 100 and something and just looked, so good. You could tell that he was that quality of cricketer. We had some good games over the journey against, some of the Borges brothers were very good about my age. Ryan Harris, good years. And then, I remember Mark Harrity hitting me in the head one day and shifting my gruel quite considerably. So, you see some very talented players around the place. Fortunate enough, we had a couple of guys. Paul Rofe played for us, and he always had Shane Dietz's number. So we didn't have to worry too much about him regularly. But again, when he got away, he was a very good cricketer as well.
Greg Quinn was still floating around those days, was he, in the lower grades? Or
Yeah, so he and Alan, they were playing, Alan Favell, they were sort of the senior guys playing B-grade cricket and teaching a lot of the younger blokes how to play cricket as they came through.
Yeah.
So
Teaching some of the younger blokes some new words as well when I played against them, but that's another story. And then you moved out to Payneham. So why the transition, I guess, from district to turf cricket and why out to Payneham?
Yeah, the main one was time. I think, a lot of Saturday, Sundays with district cricket and commitment. I was getting a bit older, I was about 30 at that stage. So some people I knew at Payneham sort of suggested, it's not far from home, East Torrens, around the corner.
Yep.
Didn't have to change my colour of my helmet. That was handy. Went out to Payneham, had a very, very good side, to be honest. Some guys that played district cricket, Sean Heaps, Chris Underwood, Jason Girth, and then I got my old mate Andrew Wotherston to join us. He's a bit of an unusual guy, but once you get to know him, he's a pretty top bloke. So played him, good success club, Felice, Mosey's, around the mark for a long, long time. And I think for the time I was there, we played finals pretty much 4 out of 6 years or something. Right. So very successful. Unfortunately, we were close a couple of years, but didn't get across the line.
Yeah.
And then after your time there, you moved to Spock, St. Peter's.
Yeah, that's right. So Nick Mosey was playing across there, and we had a couple of guys come back from district cricket. I played against Nick Bailey and Oswald Jacobs. So they're old collegians, and my good mate Mo Sheikh went across as well. So again, walked into a side that was pretty formidable. We played finals both years, and I think probably 2 of the best sides that I've played in at turf cricket for during my journey. And unfortunately, we were probably one of the stronger teams, but, we just didn't play well on the finals. Second year particularly, we came up against a Grange side, bowled them out for about 130 or so, but then found ourselves 5 for not many overnight. And they just played better cricket on the day. So
was that the tied on first innings, that particular game? The game was tied on first innings?
No, that was not. No, they comprehensively, I think, knocked us over. Unfortunately, I don't think we got close.
Yeah.
Okay, finishing up last year, it was a good year. Played in the grand final, not quite the result you wanted. How do you look back on last year?
Look, I thought we were probably fortunate to finish where we did. We were a good side, but we just couldn't quite string together consistent games. Our best was very good, and we showed that a game in the semi-final against Brighton. And look, Brighton were probably by far the best team over the course of the year, and they're doing really well in A1 this year because of the depth and quality of their squad. So we got over that game and then ran into PAC, who know really, really well. A couple of key moments in that particular game. Jack Dent played an outstanding game. We had them 8 for 80, and he and one of the Marshall boys put on 70 at the end. They were just better in that moment. Day 2, I think, we were 3 for about 70. So, well in position to chase down 170. But again, Princes were just a bit too strong in those key moments. So, they deserve to play well. But, we've strengthened our side a little bit this year. We've brought in some guys from some old collegians have come through. So I think we're well placed, but we just got to get that consistency right. And we've had a few injuries to start. So we've got a challenge ahead of ourselves against Walkerville. But after that, we hope to, good win against Flinders Park first up. They came down from Div 1. They're a fairly solid side. Unley were too good for us, and Walkerville again. I think they'll be close to around the mark as well for the season. So tough start. If we 1 and 2, I think we're a good chance if we can get a bit of a roll and make the 4. Anything can happen.
Yeah, and someone who started the season in great form is Charlie Potter. What can you tell us about him? He's had a few good hauls with the ball. Yeah,
Charlie's been around with us for 3 or 4 years now. He's a young fella, about 25, old collegian. Swings the ball both ways, and had a really good game last year. I think he had a really good game against Walkerville in a T20, 6 for and including a hat trick. So he's a really handy bowler and has got some good reward from a good pre-season so far.
Excellent.
Taking on the captaincy this year, how did that come about?
Previous captain Sam McClay, who's a wicketkeeper, he did it for a couple of years, but he's travelled overseas now for work. He's a winemaker, so he's gone to France and having a great time over there, learning the trade. So we're in a bit of a transition phase. So my role this year is a little bit about teaching some of the new developing leaders about how to go about it. So I've sort of stepped up and taken that role and transitioned some new guys through, hopefully through the 2020 program and the B grade as well. So. I'm a little bit closer to the end than the start, as they'd say.
Who are some of those younger guys that you see who've got leadership potential in the future?
Charlie Potter's one. He's been vice captain for a little while. We've got a couple of young fellas coming through. Jet May, who's a really good batter. He's been with us for a little while. New guy this year, Charlie Allen, who plays at the footy club. He's the Div 1 best and fairest for Spock, so he can play. He's pretty fit. So we hope to get these guys sort of some opportunities to lead and develop and grow the club that way through. Kids through the old collegians.
Yeah.
You also captained the Adelaide Turf Association team for, I reckon, at least 4 years from memory. How did you find that experience? You're working with Steve Sykes for quite a few years and myself. How do you find that experience?
Yeah, it was really good. I enjoyed the association, and sometimes it's really good to be on the same team as some guys. You get to learn a bit of a different perspective and and find new ways of understanding how guys play. So that was a good experience. It was a bit tougher to get guys to play and be available when we were playing on the hard wickets out of Rose and Crown and some of these less hospitable places. But we had some good games playing with some of the Southern boys played. The Wordsworth.
Yep.
A few boys from Paraka were very good. So, just to be around some guys who were very, very talented and representative sides are good experiences. So we also got to play on Adelaide Oval, I think, one year and won very comfortably, which was, a good experience.
Excellent. You've been in the ATCA comp for a while. How do you think it's changed over the years in your time?
Most of the things are around, I think, commitment and availability. Two-day cricket seems to be a little bit on the, it's getting harder and harder. Look, we're an old collegians club, so we're naturally a little bit, affluent on those kinds of, availability issues. So that seems to be there's always someone's wedding or someone's 21st or some other nonsense that's on. So that's always and when you're captain, you're constantly having to deal with that sort of thing. But so two-day cricket seems to, and the growth of one-day cricket particularly as well, it seems to, a lot of new sides have come in playing primarily one-day cricket. The Lions, for example, Blue Brigade, these guys, and they've got some very talented cricketers playing amongst them.
Yeah, okay. Now we might just run you through the Mad Minute, Luke. So we've got some quick fires for you and see what you've got for us. So I'll kick it off. Best bowler you've faced.
Probably Ryan Harris when he came back from Northern Districts and at East Torrens. He was bowling quite sharply back then.
Yep.
Best player you've seen?
Playing against out on the field, probably Greg Blewett. He's an outstanding player.
Best player for Adelaide Turf that you've seen?
Mark Hansen just found a way to make runs, consistently, and if you couldn't get him early, he just cash in.
Best teammate?
Mo Sheikh.
Okay. What about the funniest person at Spock?
A gentleman called Andy Harvey. He's got a very peculiar and unique, dry sense of humour, so he and I get along quite well.
Yep.
Best coach you've had?
Alan Favell was a really good coach for me. Spent a lot of time with me, nurturing, teach me the way to go, so I really enjoyed spending time with him.
Bit of advice you would give a young player these days?
I'd get your gear and go off and play a season in England. I did it a couple of times in the early 2000s. Fantastic experience. You make friends for life. Great for your cricket experience.
Yep. Someone you mentioned a couple of times you played a lot of cricket with, Nick Mosey.
Yeah, Moses is a fantastic bloke, and I guess he puts a lot of things in perspective.
Yeah.
Crows or Port?
Neither.
Who do you follow?
Bluesman.
Okay.
Drink of your choice?
Pint of Heineken or
Coopers.
Put in the Cooper's Lager. Yeah.
Cooper's Lager.
And who's the best patron of the bar at Spock at the moment?
The Evergreen chairman, Sam Wheaton. He's fantastic at supporting the boys. We spend a bit of time at the Maid, and they look after us really well.
Excellent.
Your favourite cricketer?
Jacques Callis. Bat, bowl, catch, did it all. Big South African.
Favourite sports person?
I used to really enjoy watching Stephen Gerrard play for Liverpool. I was a Liverpool fan growing up, and when things happened, he was always around the moment and creating some fantastic goals and experiences, lifting his team. So always enjoyed watching him.
Okay, and for the two gentlemen in the studio here, one thing that could make the ATCA better.
Maybe we get rid of the second innings bonus points and just call it a day unless there's a result on, a bit like the Sackers do.
Yeah, not a bad call, David. Keep that in mind.
We keep asking these questions from our surveys we sent out. We've got a survey going out in the next couple of weeks. I think that question is in there. So
my responses tend to get lost in the mail, though, I think, David. Anyway.
Excellent. Oh, well, thanks for that, Luke. Great to hear a bit about your career and all things that you're doing at the moment at Spock. And we didn't touch on the time that you spent in the UK, but you mentioned that was very beneficial. Where did you play over there, and what do you think? How do you think it helped your game?
Played 2 seasons, one in Manchester in the league there, and then another up in Scotland, which was fantastic.
Okay.
So just learning about English conditions, meeting a bunch of blokes who love playing cricket. Scotland was fantastic because you travelled around all over the country. It was a national league.
Yeah.
And they're very passionate. The different wickets, conditions, and the responsibility sometimes you get of being an overseas player. And really enjoying that. So that was a really good experience for me.
Honed your big drinking craft as well, no doubt.
Yeah, a little bit, mowing the lawn, rolling wickets, and all those sort of bits and pieces, pulling pints.
Yeah, great experience. All the
fun stuff that you do. Yeah.
Brilliant. We might take a quick break and come and have a look around the grounds at the yellow competition. Welcome back to Straight Bat. We're going to have a little bit of a look at the LO competition and go around the grounds and see what's been happening there. Some great performances. Shane, what can you tell us?
Yes, so again, thanks to one of our generous sponsors, so the Coopers Award, it's been a little bit of traction on that on the Facebook and a little bit on Instagram as well, getting people to vote for their performance of the week, and in the LOs it's the performance of the fortnight. So for the first award that we gave away was young Ashwin from St. Peter's.
Yeah, Ashwin had a really good game, made 131. You caught me off the top of my head.
Yes.
A lot of those through mid-wicket and leg side, but look, it doesn't matter how you score them as long as you get them.
Good. Aspirations to get him in the A grade, or
he's up to the B's this week.
Okay.
Good young fella. So he's an old collegian, so he's got some opportunity in the future.
Good. Also, we've got the players of the round for the 2-day cricket as well. So the last winner for that, and I can see he's up to their A1 team now from Trinity, Bradley Shaper. So in an outright victory, got a bit expensive in the first innings, 4 for 34. But then finished off with 6 for 13 off 14, so a 10-wicket match in an outright victory is a pretty impressive result.
On the weekend in the ones, I think. So he's on the march.
In a bit of form.
Yep.
So we'll go through just some results, just some highlights for rounds 3 and 4 in the LO competition. So Hamish Hartlett for the Adelaide Rockets managed to get 136 not out and a win against Adelaide Uni. Russell Thomas, Ross Trevor in the LO ones, 118. And then backed it up with a 3 for 48 as well in a win over Port Districts. Yashwin Reddy Redham, Blue Brigade, he's got 106, and then again backed it up with the ball with a 4 for 40 in a win against the Lions in round 3. Nathan Kennedy, Trinity, they're in there a fair bit, Trinity, and the LO4s, 127 in a win against Goodwood. Abadesh, you help me with that one there, Rush?
Gadara, yep.
Gadara for Walkerville, phenomenal 9 for 23. In a win, obviously, against Adelaide Uni, but not often you get
You got the other
for...
wicket. Wouldn't be popular.
No. Then we'll move on to round 4. Sam Hayworth, Westminster LO1s, got a 7 for 31, which included a hat-trick and also the top 7 batsmen. And looking at the stats, he was the 4th change bowler. Oh, he come on 4th change. So, it was a few overs were put in before him. So, pretty good effort, that one. Nathan Kennedy, again from Trinity, LO4s, 118 in a win against Sacred Heart. Paul Amato, Flinders Park, LO4, 117 in a win against Paynham. Hayden Sweeney, Grange in the LO7s. This is a game against Jeps Cross. 155 not out in the large boundaries of Grange number 3 there. And also in that game, Scott Rocket Matthews, his father Alan Matthews, was a long-time umpire at Adelaide Turf, managed 102 not out. I think he may have been retired hurt after the 102 and made a need to go get some fresh air before he could come on and bowl. So that's just a bit of a roundup of the yellow performances.
Yep, some great performances there. So well done to all those players. We'll keep an eye on the yellow comp throughout the year. And we've got obviously more things coming with the straight bat. We're going to look at some exciting new competitions and some other segments. So you got any suggestions, send them into marketing@turfcricket.com.au. Shane will take the criticism and the good stuff on board. So hopefully you've enjoyed the first edition of the show. We always like to go out with a bit of a gag. Woz had a couple for us last year that were pretty average, so we're going to throw over to you, David, and see what you've got for us if you can improve the standard this year.
Okay, I'm not sure I can improve the standard. Why did the tomato blush?
Not too sure, David.
Because it saw the salad dressing.
Okay. That joke's about as old as you, I reckon. So we'll get you to do some work during the year. I did. Well, Shane got one sent into marketing@turfcricket.com.au. Paul from Paynham, so I don't know if you know him, Luke, but he tried to be a little bit topical. He said Donald Trump is a lot like the English cricket team. Neither of them handle spin very well. So I don't know. The part about the English cricket team might be true because they went down to they went down to Sri Lanka, didn't they? But Trumpy did okay. So anyway, keep sending them in. Marketing@turfcricket.com.au, and we'll vet them. And but I think they're probably better than that. What David came up with.
I think so.
And that's about it for the straight bat. So thanks, Luke, for coming in, having a chat to us, being part of the first episode.
Cool, you're welcome. Thanks,
Great
guys.
to have a chat. Thanks, David. Thanks, Shane. And we'll be back in a fortnight to do it all again. Fingers crossed.
Thank you very much.
All right, we'll see you then.
Cheers. Bye.